Okay, so good day everyone. We are from Group 1. So today we're gonna present about culture and international business in emerging market. So we consist of two people, which is me, Bintang Nadhiva Balqis, with last digit of MPM is 420, and my partner, Yuki Fairuuz, with last digit of MPM 471. And this is the learning objective. There are 5 points. And the first one is national culture. Is the shared value, belief, and norm that guide society, defining who we are, determining acceptable and unacceptable behavior, and ensuring predictable and non-random behaviors. So there is four national culture component. The first one is cultural belief, is people perception of what is true. The next one is cultural norms, a shared understanding of what people can and cannot do. The next one is custom, is behavior or habits that are passed from generation to generation. And the last one is cultural symbol, stories, and rituals. It's manifestation of culture through monuments, stories, or other practices. And the next one is host the model national culture. The first one is power distance, the degree to which people accept power and authority in differences in society. And the second one is uncertainty avoidance, the degree to which people are comfortable with uncertainty and unpredictable situation. The third one is individualism, is the degree to which society focuses on the relationship of the individual to the group. The last one is the last one is the degree to which society emphasizes masculine cultural characteristics such as emphasis of advancement and earning. The next one is the Global Leadership and Organizational Behavior Studies model of culture. The first one is future orientation, refers to an individual belief that their current action will influence their future, reflecting their time management and organization of experience and events. The next one is performance orientation, refers to the degree to which the society encourages societal members to innovate, to improve their performance, and to strive for excellence. The last one is humanity orientation. High humanity societies value kindness, benevolence, generosity, and love. While of humanist society prioritize self-interest and value material possession. And the next one is business culture. It reflects of society values, beliefs, and norms, influencing appropriate and inappropriate behavior. Understanding business culture is crucial as it provides insight into appropriate aspects of doing business influenced by national culture and business ethics. The first one is whether to use formal titles or last name when meeting someone. In the US, people often keep things casual, but in places like China and India, being formal and using title is important. This is because of the cultural emphasis on power distance, highlighting the importance of hierarchy and showing respect for those in powerful position.
So for the next one is the nature of relationships between business partners. So in China, it is common for business partners to be patient and focus on building long-term relationships, while in the United States, the negotiators might not see partnerships as long-term because of the cultural emphasis on individualism rather than working collectively. And the next one is the use of language in the communication context. The Edward T. Hall distinguished languages based on explicit or implicit communication. So the first one is the low context languages. So the low context languages is people say things that directly and explicitly, while the other one is the high context languages. High context languages is people state things that indirectly and also implicitly. And so for the next one is the national culture cautions, and caveats. So the first one we have the subcultures. Subcultures represent different ways of life within a culture, such as in India. For example, like McDonald's adjusted its menu to address regional variations in meat, vegetarian, and local fares. And also it discusses the dangers of broad generalizations and how to understand these differences. The next one is the stereotyping. The assumption that all people within a particular group behave, believe, feel, and act the same, and cultural stereotypes can be used cautiously to understand another culture, providing a broad generalization that can help comprehend the complexities of the cultural differences. And for the last one is the ethnocentricity. The ethnocentricity is belief that one's own culture is superior, and also it is a significant danger in understanding culture, as it can lead to the failure of many international business projects because multinational managers are ethnocentric and they ignore the benefits of other cultures. The next one is the national culture cross-cultural training. The cultural intelligence is crucial for successful cross-cultural training, as it enhances job performance, reduces job loss, and boosts self-confidence and well-being. So the culture training methods have two kind of methods. The first one is the low-rigor cultural training programs. It is a simulations tend to be of lower rigor, where participants are offered the opportunity to experience the foreign culture through a role-playing and other programs instructions. And the high rigor culture training programs is the field experiences techniques are usually of higher rigor and participants are given the opportunity to learn through experience.
Okay, so the next one is the first case. It's the rebranding of Fair and Lovely. The Fair and Lovely brand, owned by Hindustan Unilever Limited, has been a household name in South Asia and other regions for its skin lightening cream. The brand faced significant backlash for promoting the idea that fair skin equates to beauty and success, which is deeply rooted in certain cultures, amidst a global conversation on racial equality and social justice. HUL announced on June 25, 2020, that it would rebrand Fair and Lovely to Glow and Lovely. This decision was part of a strategic move to address and rectify the perpetuation of colorism and to align with a more inclusive vision of beauty. The rebranding initiative aimed to remove any connotation that suggests a particular skin tone is superior and instead promote a message of skin health and glow irrespective of the skin color.
The case that I brought is about Dunkin' Donuts misstep in the Indian market.
Dunkin' is synonymous with breakfast pretty much everywhere you go. There are more than 12,600 restaurants in 46 countries, from Kuwait to Aruba. But there is one market where the company has failed to capture national attention: India. As of 2018, it's closed more than half of its stores in just over 2 years, citing a lack of profitability and operational efficiency. So, what went so wrong for Dunkin' in India? To answer that, let's go back to 2012 when Dunkin' launched its first location. Dunkin' granted exclusive franchising rights to Jubilant Foodworks, the same franchisee that brought Domino's Pizza to India, one of the top restaurant brands in the country. Dunkin' entered with its typical breakfast first strategy, and it braced for heavy traffic at the start of the day. But it didn't take long to figure out that Indians weren't all that interested in the American morning routine. The majority of Indian consumers don't prefer to grab and go their breakfast. They'd rather have a sit down meal.
So Dunkin' Donuts had a tough time in India because they did not understand what Indian customers wanted, and they tried to sell breakfast food like they do in other countries, but Indians prefer to sit down for breakfast instead of grabbing food and on the go. And also, Dunkin' Donuts menu did not match what Indian people like to eat. They tried to add local flavors like mango donuts, but it did not work well. Plus, Dunkin' Donuts opened too many big stores too quickly, which cost them a lot of money. Even when they tried to change the menu and make smaller stores, they still could not attract enough customers. And it shows that it is important for companies to learn about the local culture and preferences when they expand to new countries, especially in places like India where people have different tastes. And for the conclusion, the stories of Dunkin' Donuts and Unilever's Fair and Lovely teach us a crucial lesson about doing business in different countries. Dunkin' Donuts had a hard time in India because they did not understand what Indian people like to eat for breakfast, and this led to them losing money and having to change their plans. And similarly, Unilever faced problems with Fair and Lovely because they did not think about how people in India felt about their product. They had to change the name to make people happier. And these stories shows that it is really important for companies to think about local customs and preferences when they sell products in other countries, especially in places where people have different tastes and ideas. And I think that's it from our group. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.